Hello everyone, GM, hello Hawks, and welcome to this Stake.link Code Hawks kickoff. My name is Ciara Nightingale, and I am a software engineer and instructor here at Cyfrin. Today, we're going to be going through the Stake.link competitive audit that is currently live on Code Hawks. Woohoo! So there are a few very quick housekeeping things that I would like to go through just before I introduce you to our wonderful guest, Christian. The few things I wanted to talk about were the fact that obviously this contest is currently live and will be running until October the 17th at noon UTC. So set your reminders, add it to your calendar, make sure you're alerted so you get everything that you want to do done before the deadline. The lines of code, the number of Solidity lines of code are 2,530, and you will be competing for a prize pool with a grand total of $50,000, which will be split into $42,000 for mediums/highs, $4,250 for lows, and $3,750 for community judging. To give you a extremely quick overview of what the project is, it is a liquid delegated staking platform delivering DeFi composability for Chainlink staking. And as always, all the information about this project, the actors involved, the scope, the compatibilities are all detailed in the README on GitHub, linked on the CodeHawks Stake.link landing page. Gosh, that was a bit of a mouthful. And as always, if you have any questions at all during this stream, feel free to drop them in the chat. And if you have any questions afterwards, then you can post them in the Cyfrin Discord, where we can pass them on to whoever is best to answer your questions. So feel free to just type away and ask all your questions. So now to explain to you a little bit more about this project and how it works, we have Christian from Stake.link. Hello, Christian. The floor is now yours, and you can explain a little bit more about yourself and about Stake.link.
Great. So I'm the lead Solidity dev for Stake.link. Suppose I'll just give a quick overview of what Stake.link is. So as you said, we're a liquid staking platform. We are the first one to support Chainlink staking. We consist of 15 of the top Chainlink node operators, and we enable users to stake. So Chainlink staking has both an operator staking pool and a community staking pool, and they have different reward rates. And we enable users to be able to stake into the operator staking pool as one of our operators and earn a higher rate than if you just staked into the community pool. The other unique thing about the protocol is that we allow users to queue their link tokens in our priority pool mechanism when the Chainlink staking pool is full. And at which point that space opens up in the pool, we'll automatically stake your Chainlink tokens. So I will share my screen here. Can I like switch between windows here if I want to share two different windows, or?
You should be able to. It should be able to give you. It should give you the option to just share your entire screen, and then you can flip between windows.
Okay. Okay, so can you see this?
Yeah, we can see. We can see your VS Code and a diagram.
Okay, great. So yeah, this diagram is just an overview of most of the contracts that are in scope for the audit. So I'll just give like a super quick overview, and then I'll go more in depth on each contract. So basically, when a user stakes, they'll generally be interacting with the priority pool contract here. If there is currently space in the Chainlink staking pool, then the priority pool will deposit into the staking pool. And the staking pool is the actual liquid staking token. So it will mint Stake.link when you deposit Link into it. The staking pool controls two different strategies, one for the Chainlink operator staking pool and one for the community staking pool. So it will deposit into the operator staking pool first. If that is full, then it will deposit into the community strategy here. And then both of these contracts they're quite similar in that they both control several vault contracts. And then the vault contracts are what actually deposits into like Chainlink's staking pool that they have deployed. So this will deploy into the operator one, this will deploy into the community pool. And so each of these operator vaults represents a single operator. So since we have 15 operators, there are 15 of these. And then there are dozens of community vaults because Chainlink has employed a per address staking limit. So to get around that, we've had to deploy several community vaults, which each represent like a single staker in the pool. I'll get into the fund flow controller and the withdrawal pool now when I go more in depth. So the scenario I described is like the most simple scenario when the pool is not full. However, if the pool is full, then your tokens will be queued inside the priority pool. And there's really a few scenarios here. So yeah, if the pool is full, your tokens will be queued in the priority pool. However, if someone has queued a withdrawal in the withdrawal pool, then your tokens will be swapped for those tokens. So they will be able to withdraw essentially, and you'll be able to stake by receiving their stake tokens. So I guess we can just look at the priority pool here. So like the main functions as a user that you would interact with would be on token transfer and deposits, which both essentially do the same thing. But since Chainlink is an ERC 677, it has a transfer and call functionality. So basically you can deposit without needing to do a token approval. But yeah, these both call the same deposit function, which is down here. So yeah, it will check if there's anything queued in the priority pool, and if there is, then it will also queue into the priority pool. And then yeah, it will check here if there's anything queued in the withdrawal pool. It will swap if there is, and then it will check if there's space in the staking pool, which it will deposit into the staking pool if there's any remaining tokens after that, and then yeah, it will queue your tokens if there are still remaining tokens after that. And so after your tokens are queued, once space opens up in the staking pool, they'll be automatically deposited, and then periodically, where is this function? So periodically, a new distribution will be calculated off-chain by Chainlink oracles. And so basically this will calculate how many liquid staking tokens each user that has queued tokens in the priority pool will receive. And it will distribute them using a Merkle tree, which is stored on IPFS, and then the new Merkle root and the IPFS hash and everything will then be stored in this contract. And then as a user, if you want to claim your liquid staking tokens, you will call this function here, and you'll have to pass in your Merkle proof, which you would obtain from IPFS, and then it will verify the Merkle proof, and you'll be able to withdraw the liquid staking tokens that were distributed to you. So that's pretty much the main functions of the priority pool. So yeah, I mentioned the withdrawal pool before. So pretty much if you are trying to withdraw your liquid staking tokens and there's nothing queued in the priority pool, then your withdrawal will have to be queued in the withdrawal pool. So the priority pool will just automatically do that for you. And then once tokens become available for withdrawal in the Chainlink staking contracts, they will be withdrawn and sent to the withdrawal pool. And then once enough are sent and you as a user, your specific withdrawal has been finalized, you'll just be able to call this withdraw function, which will withdraw your tokens that you had queued. So now I'll look at the staking pool. So I would say the most important things to consider in the staking pool is just the deposit and withdraw functions. So these are only callable by the priority pool, obviously. And when the priority pool deposits, it will take the tokens, it will call the deposit liquidity function, which will just cycle through the strategies, which are the operator VCS and the community VCS, and it will deposit until this one is full, and then move on to the next one and deposit into that one. It will mint liquid staking tokens and send them back to the priority pool to later be distributed. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Withdraw works in the opposite way. It will withdraw from the strategies in the opposite order. So it will withdraw from community VCS first until no more can be withdrawn, and it will withdraw from the operator VCS. And then it will burn the liquid staking tokens and send the underlying link to the priority pool. Next, we have both of these strategy contracts. So both of these contracts they're vault controller strategies. So they just inherit from this parent contract. Like they're essentially the same, although the operator strategy has a few more functions just because things are a little bit different. But basically these contracts, they just control a whole bunch of vault contracts, and they manage the depositing into these contracts and the withdrawals from the contracts, and they handle a lot of accounting to make that as efficient as possible. Yeah, I don't really want to go more in depth on that. There are a few differences with the operator strategy. The main being that operators can actually be removed from the Chainlink staking contracts. So this contract has to handle that somehow. And it does that by allowing the owner to remove vaults. So there's a few extra functions here like queue vault removal, remove vaults. And these functions all involve the fund flow controller, which I will still get into. So besides that, we have the actual vault contracts, which are pretty straightforward. They just deposit into the actual Chainlink staking contracts. They have just a few view functions to see what's going on there. So depositing into the Chainlink staking contracts is fairly straightforward. Like you just deposit into the contract, but withdrawals get a little more complicated, and that's why we require the fund flow controller. So how Chainlink staking works is when you deposit, your tokens will be locked indefinitely. And if you would like to withdraw them, you'll have to initiate an unbonding period. And this unbonding period lasts a total of 28 days, at which point your tokens will enter the claim period, which lasts 7 days. So what we've done in the operator VCS and community VCS here is we wanted to keep a certain percentage of tokens always unbonded to enable the quickest withdrawals possible and not require the user to wait like 28 days. So how that works is the vaults in each of these strategies are broken up into 5 separate vault groups. And at any one time, one of these vault groups will always be in the claim period. And so how that works is like every 7 days, a group of vaults has to be re-unbonded, and the fund flow controller is what does that. So yeah, every 7 days, this function update vault groups will be called, and that will just it will update all the necessary accounting. It will cycle through and unbond all the vaults that need to be unbonded. And then the other function of the fund flow controller is to, when a user deposits, they will call this view function first, which will basically return the deposit order of vaults. And they'll pass that to the priority pool, which will pass it all the way down to the strategy contracts, and they will use that to determine which vaults to deposit into. So it's the same thing with withdrawals as well. It will calculate the withdrawal order of vaults, and the user will pass that to the priority pool, and it will do the same thing. And the reason for that is just to save gas, really. Like we could have done all the calculations inside the withdrawal and deposit calls, but it would have been quite expensive. So yeah, we decided to use these view functions. Yeah, I feel like I've covered mostly everything there.
Amazing. That was a really good overview. We did have a couple of questions if you are sort of finished with going through things.
Yep.
So someone asked, is it just Link, or can you deposit other ERC20s as well?
So at the moment, it's just Link. However, some of these contracts are designed to enable other ERC20s as well. So like specifically the priority pool, the withdrawal pool, and the staking pool are designed to support other ERC20s, but all of the rest of the contracts are specifically for Link staking.
Okay, so within the scope of this contest, should they be assuming Link, or are other ERC20s such as like USDC in scope?
I would just assume Link.
Okay, just assume Link. Awesome, thank you. That's very helpful. I can take away your screen from sharing now. Okie dokes. So yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. We can just wrap things up now. So all of the information, as I said earlier, is on the GitHub repo linked on the CodeHawks landing page. And as I said, if you have any other questions, then ask them away in the Cyfrin Discord. Let me just double check that there were no other questions. Someone said all previous audit issues, are they resolved in the contest commit? I would assume so.
The majority are. Some of them are acknowledged, but there is a link in the contest page to all previous audits, so you can take a look at those.
Okay, that's very helpful. Yeah, so I think that's all of the questions. So yeah, thank you so much, Christian. That was an amazing walkthrough, and thanks to all of the Hawks for joining. Yeah, thank you, GM and GN.
Thanks.